וכי נפשי es Hashem.
63, sixth line from the top of the page, Mishnah. The subject today is the philosophy of the world to come, as well as several new halachot. We start again with the Mishnah in continuation of the juxtaposition of halachot between men and women when it comes to Hilchot Shabbat. לא יצא האיש לא בסייף ולא בקשת ולא בתריס ולא בעלה ולא ברומח. Just as it is a prohibition for women to carry out a certain item in public domain, the sages said that a man may neither go out on Shabbat with a sword, not with a bow, nor with a shield. Soon you see what's the idea. This is like some type of war. Trees, for example, is a ancient Greek for a shield. Ve'im yatsa chayav chatat. If man went to the public domain on Shabbat, he needs to bring a sin offering. Rabbi Eliezer omer tachshitin hen lo. As you know, we discussed in the past several days the difference between tachshit and masoi. Masoi, carrying something. Tachshit, it's for ornament. Hero who carries a klei milchama, a war instruments, in order to show his strength, and soon later the GEMARA explained that. So it's different. So you hold that it's like an ornament for him. The sages said it's basically not a third opinion, just an addition. Einan elal dignai. Don't think that this ammunition or shield type of clothing it's something to be proud of, but there is nothing other than reprehensible, and in the future it will be eliminated. Shenemar, as it's written in the book of Isaiah, v'chitetu charvotam leitim v'chanitotehem lemazmerot ולא יישא גוי גוי חרב ולא ילמדו עוד מלחמה, and they shall beat their sword into a plowshare and the spear into a pruning hooks. Nation will not raise a sword against nation, neither will they learn war anymore.
So do I understand correctly that if it is a matter of vanity for a man, if he wants to show what a big hero he is, instead of a valid reason, like in the synagogue, I remember when in 2008, when there were young boys with machine guns in the synagogue, when there was a terrorist attack possible, that is a different thing.
Yes,
that is a very big difference. But if somebody carries weapons for vanity, for personal aggrandizement, that is chata'ah. Yeah?
Birit, with regard to women ornament. Tehora. So we now add that a greater place on her leg should hold the stocking is pure and cannot become ritually impure as a utensil. ויוצאים בה בשבת, and lechatchila they may go out on Shabbat. Kvalim tmeim. However, ankle chains, which were also women ornaments in those days, can be ritually become impure, tmeim ve'en yotzim b'Shabbat, and may not go out on Shabbat. The GEMARA may ask, "My be'ala." What does that mean when the Mishnah said the word Allah? The answer is kulfa. Kulfa, it's like club. It's like it's a stick that have a heavy hat. Tanya. Now the GEMARA expounded on the dispute between Rabbi Eliezer and the sages, and they said, Tanya Amrulo, Rabbi Eliezer omer tachshitin lo. Rabbi Eliezer said that these weapons are ornaments for him. Tanya Amrulo le Rabbi Eliezer, the sages said to Rabbi Eliezer, v'chi machar de tachshitin lo mipnei ma'im betelim limot HaMashiach. If it's considering an ornament, why at the end of the days, in Messianic era, it will no longer that's what we said earlier, that all this ammunition is going to be a agriculture tools. So they said, אמר להם לפי שנצריכים, because there's no need for them, שנאמר לו ישראל גולגול חרב. They said, nation should not live sword against the nation. The Gemara asks, ותהווה לנוי בעלמא. Maybe this or army clothing should be for an ornament. Why they don't use it? It's like Rabbi Eliezer said. Amar Abaye said that the Messianic era, that there's no longer war and there's no need for a war, any type of use war clothing. Mide de hava ashraga betihara. So maybe they just as like in a candle. If you have a candle in the afternoon, so it's looks like something that there's no need. So the same here, since there's no longer appreciation of armed forces, so they change it to the some type of agriculture use. Upligad Shmuel, and this Braita speaks about the Messianic era differ than the opinion of Shmuel. דאמר שמואל, אין בין העולם הזה לעולם הבא אלא שיעבוד גלויות בלבד. There is no difference between this world and the world to come. Only שיעבוד גלויות, שיעבוד גלויות, meaning that the Jewish people not feel fully free at this time. However, when the time which we call Messianic era, the kingdom will return to Israel. They don't feel any intimidate to live like the fellow, if you remember, told me about living in Paris nowadays and many places in Europe, that the fear of wearing yarmulke or fear of reaction of others. This, or like you heard the other day about the fellow putting a menorah in his outside door window. All of this fear will eliminate it, mitzvah Shem, at the time, the end of the day, שנאמר, כי לא יחדל אביון מקרב הארץ. They say that is in book of Deuteronomy, because the poor will not cease from the land, which means society will not change, and the wars will continue to be waged. So in that sense, it's appear the opposite, that you see that like poverty and wealth, and all this word of consolation that the prophets gave for the future of the Jewish people, like Zechariah chapter 14, they said that it will not be a Knaani. Knaani, it's like ani, it's like a poor. So that speaks about world to come, but not the Messianic era. So they said, מסייע לה לרבי חייא ברבא. ואמר רבי חייא ברבא, כל הנביאים לא נתנבאו אלא בימות המשיח. All this prophecy that you read in the Tanakh, prognostication of the Jewish future, that speaks about the Messianic era. אבל העולם הבא, but in regards to world to come, עין לא ראתה Elokim zulatecha. What Isaiah said, no eye sees, God expect you. Which means that that's something that it's undescribable. Indescribable. So which means that God will make for those people who waited for Him something that no eyes can see. Which means the prophets, with all the great ability of expression, what's going to happen in the future, that was not their domain to express what's happening, which we call the afterlife, the world to come. There's others that hold this back and forth talk between the sages and Rabbi Eliezer. The sages said to Rabbi Eliezer, because it's like an ornament. Why it's going to be a null at the era of the end of the days, that like it's going to be an agriculture tools. אמר להם, אף לימות המשיח אינן בטלים. He said, no, that's even in the Messianic era will not annul. היינו דשמואל ופליגה ורבי חייא בר אבא. This is match what Shmuel said, which is different than Rabbi Xiya bar Abba, who disagree, that he hold that all this word of comfort, the consolation that the prophet said, for example, nation should not lift up sword against nation, speaks about the era of the Messianic era. אמר לרביי לרב דימי ואמר לה לרב אביה ואמר לה רב יוסף לרב דימי ואמר לה לרב אביה ואמר לה אביי לרב יוסף. Different who said it. מה תמד רבי אליעזר? why Rabbi Eliezer said tachshitin and lo, that the tools of the war become like an ornament. Dichtiv, because it's written in the praiseworthy of the king of Israel in the book of Psalms, chapter 45, Chagor charbecha al yarech, gibor hadcha v'adarecha, gird your sword upon your thigh, mighty one, you glory and you splendor, which is the indication that the sword is considered an ornament. Amar Rav Kahana lemar b'red Rav Huna, hi, this sentence bedivrei torakti. It's want to emphasize that the person should revisit his study constantly. It's called in Hebrew leshanen, to keep study again and again and again. So anytime he has any halachic question, the same way as the strong, mighty armed person have his hand on his sword and ready any moment to pull out the sword and use it in order to win the war, that's apply also or the same manner to study Torah, that it will repeats constantly. So whenever it's needed, he'll have it ready right away. Amale ein mikra yotze midei pshuto. He said the verse does not depart from its literal meaning, although there are many additional homiletical interpretations. Amar Rav Kahana kadaven about tamnei isrei shnanim. When I was 18 years old, v'hava gamrina lekulei hashas lekulei Talmud. I finished the entire Shas when he was 18, right? Like Reb David. V'lo aveyadana den mikra yotze midei pshuto adashta. And with all my learning, I did not know that the verse does not depart from its literal meaning until now. Maika mashmela. So what exactly we derive from that? The ligmar inish v'hadar lisbar, which means that a person should constantly learn and understand the rational, and then he going again to express it and to teach it to others. When you have the word siman zarut, we have the acronym, the abbreviation, which means that that's just the main part of what we're going to discuss soon. אמר בירמי אמר בלעזר שני תלמידים חדדים זה את זה בהלכה, הקדוש ברוך הוא מצליח להם. If you have two people, like Gil and I, like Yosef and I, like David and I, right, like each and every person, they constantly challenge each other and they ask each other in halakha, Hashem will help them expand their learning and give them the marsha said hatzlacha, a success in understanding the Torah. Shene'emar, it's written in Tehillim Memhei 45, Vahadarchat tzlach, Vahadarchat tzlach, al tikrei Vahadarcha, ela vachadedecha, which means that it's like playing with words when letters, that the success is by challenging and learning with each other. Velo de la sholim nigdula, shene'emar tzlach rechav. They grow up like they said in the parsha about Joseph, the biblical Yosef, that he goes and they have this kingdom, viceroy king of ancient Egypt. So here the same, tzlach rechav, go up in the great tzlacha, the great success was promised. Afilu shelo lishma, even someone who studied Torah not for the sake of serving Hashem and learning. Talmud lomar al dvar emet, people who learn it in order really to get to the truth, which means to get to the truth understanding of the Torah. Yachol imigis ba'atato, maybe someone have the purpose of being super serious, which means he wanted to express in an arrogant way his learning. Talmud lomar ve'anva tzedek, which means that that's as we said, that the famous GEMARA in Eruvin 54, that persons who use the Torah in order to gain fame go the opposite direction. V'imosimken, if someone study Torah for the sake of learning and with humbleness, zochin leTorah shenitna biyamin.
Humility.
Yes. Yes. If a person does Torah for with such a level of humility, he reach a level of Torah that's used the word biyamin, which means in the right hand. Shene'emar ותורך נוראות ימיניך. And let your right hand teach you tremendous things. That's Psalm 45. רב נחמן בר יצחק אמר, רב נחמן בר יצחק said, זוכים לדברים שנאמרו בימינה של תורה. They are rewarded with matters stated with regard to the right hand of the Torah. Which are they? דאמר רבא בר שלה ואמרי לה, אמר רב יוסף בר חמא אמר רב ששת, מה דכתיב, אורך ימים ימינה בשמאלה ושל כבוד. What it's written, they have length of life on the right hands, and the left hand are riches and honor. That's in the Proverbs chapter 3. What does that mean? So they said, Ela bimina, and the right hand of Torah, orech yamim, length of life, ika, osher vekavod leika, but they don't have rich and honor. So that's not the meaning. Ela lemaiminim ba, those who go in the right direction, which means, in a sense, literally, homiletically, using the right hand, meaning someone who's digging again and again to understand the depth of Torah, orech yamim ika, they have a length of life. V'kol sheken osher v'chavod, and for sure, wealth and honor. Lemasmilim ba, people who do it a little bit, not with a, it's like in a left hand, that it's a weak hand. So someone who does that not with the intent to study Torah sincerely and deeply and keep studying it, Osher v'kavod ika, orech yamim leika. He may get rich and honor, but not length of life. Amar Rabbi length of life, days. Amar Rabbi Yirmeh bar Amar Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, Shnei talmidim anochim ze laze v'halacha, which means that they go back and forth in study halacha, but they do it in a manner of peace. HaKadosh Baruch Hu makshiv lahem, which means the divine providence dwell upon them, as the GEMARA said in Brachot 6, שנאמר, אז נדברו יראי השם ישמעו ויקשב השם וישמע. They said in the book of Malachi that it will be a time, that it was a time that a person listened to each other, and Hashem Almighty was, in our language, listen and observe. אין דיבור אלא נחת, שנאמר ידבר עמים תחתינו. Anytime you use the word dibur, the speech, meaning nothing than the calm. As it said, he subdues, yadber, people under us, the Psalm 47. Ma'il ulchoshvei shemo. What is the meaning of the phrase in the verse, and for those who thought of his name? אמר רבי עמי אפילו חישב לעשות מצווה ונס ולא עשה, מלא עליו כתוב כי לא עשה. רבי עמי said, even if one merely planned to perform a mitzvah, and ultimately due to the circumstances beyond his control, did not perform the mitzvah, the verse ascribed him credit as he performed it. אמר רבי חנניה בר עדי, כל העושה מצווה כמאמרה. He said that Rabbi Chananya bar Adi said, anyone who performed a mitzvah as he was commanded, and ein מבשר לו אותו בשורות רעות, they did not, others did not appease him with the bad tidings. שנאמר, as it stated in the book of Kohelet, Ecclesiastic chapter 8, שומר מצווה לא ידע דבר רע, he who kept the commandment did not know evil thing. אמר רבי יאסי ויתאמר רבי חנינא, אפילו הקדוש ברוך הוא גוזר גזירה ומבטלה. He said, even Hashem put a decree, but one who's doing the mitzvah properly, he acknowledged, שנאמר, באשר דבר מלך שלטון ומי יאמר לו מה תעשה, God is controlling who said to him what to do. הוא סמיך להם right away in attachment word, he said, שומר מצווה לא ידע דבר רע. One who guards his commandment shall not know evil thing, which means the one who has observed mitzvot properly, the decree of is abrogated, and he will know no evil. אמר רבי אבא, אמר רבי שמעון בן לקיש, שני תלמידי חכמים מקשיבים לזה בהלכה הקדוש ברוך הוא שומע לכולם. If they two scholars teaching each other הלכה, and one understand the other, Hashem listen to the word, as it said in Song of Songs chapter 8, היושבת באגנים החברים מקשיבים לקולך השמיעיני. You who dwell in gardens, the companions heed your voice, cause me to hear it. V'imei nosim kein, which means God listen to your prayer, but if you don't do it, גורמים לשכינה שמסתלק מישראל, שנאמר ברך דודי ודמה. If they don't do that, they cause the divine presence to depart among Israel, as it's stated. Run away, my beloved, and like a gazelle. Or that's what it means in the Song of Songs. אמר רבי אבא, אמר רבי שמעון בן לקיש, שני תלמידי חכמים מדגילים זה לזה בהלכה, which means that two scholars who would study together cause one another to err in הלכה. That's what Tosfot said. הקדוש ברוך הוא אוהבן, which means nevertheless the Holy Ones blesses and love them, as it stated, שנאמר ודגלו על אהבה, the same Song of Song, and his banner diglo over me in love. Rava said, the yadet suata deshmata, which means this is as long as they know the law, which means the error resulted from the lack of more sophisticated knowledge, which means they know something from the past. It is the condition that they live in a city that they have no rabbi or someone who teaches that learn better. Since, you know, the Gemara brought several memrod from Rabbi Abba and the name of Rabbi Shimon Lakish that relate to Talmud Torah, now bringing Agadah, some homiletic things that he said. So he said, Gadol Malveh, someone who loan other money is greater than one who gives him charity. Why? Because usually indigent person is embarrassed to ask for charity, but when it's come to a loan, it's different. Umatil bakis yoter mikulam. So it is a result, and the one who places money into the common purse, which means one who enters into a partnership with a needy person, is greater than them all. Why? Since in the case of needy person, he's not embarrassed when receiving the assistance. ואומר רבי אבא, אמר רבי שמעון בן לקיש, אפילו תלמיד חכם נוקם ונותר כנחש הוא חוגרהו על מתניך. He said that even you have a Talmid Chacham, as Torah scholar, that is vengeful, as a begrudging as a snake, wrap him tightly around your waist, which means keep him close, because you will benefit from his Torah. So the Meiri said that it means even you have a scholar that is rough with you, but if you're going to learn Torah with him, take it. However, if there's someone appear like a pious person, but he's ignorance, you should not bother to live close in his neighborhood. Why? Because since his righteousness does not compensate for the fact that he is ignorant, so it's something that what the Maharsha said following the Avot chapter 2, and bur yerechel v'lo ha'ma'aretz chasid, which means that his piety is not the real one, and he must probably influence you for bad. אמר רב כהנא אמר רבי שמעון בן לקיש, ואמר לה אמר רב אסי אמר רבי שמעון בן לקיש, ואומר לה אמר רבי אבא אמר רבי שמעון בן לקיש, כל המגדל כלב רע בתוך ביתו ונאחז מתוך ביתו. If someone raise a evil dog within his home, he has prevented kindness from entering into his house. Why? Because since poor people will hesitate to enter his house. שנאמר, as it's written in the book of Eov in Job chapter 6, Lamas mere'ehu chesed, to him that is afflicted, Lamas, kindness from his friend, and all of the Almighty will live. 63b, שכן בלשון יוונית קוראים לכלב למס, since in the Greek language they call dog למס. רב נחמן בר יצחק אמר הרב פרויר ממנו יראת שמיים שנאמר ויראת שדי יעזוב. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak said, one who keeps his evil dog on his home, even diverts himself of fear of heaven, as he stated, and all of the Almighty will live. The Alya lau beita lemeifa is a story about a woman that entered to her house to bake there. After she get permission from the owner to use his stove, Navach bekalba, the dog barked to her, it akav vlada. She miscarried. Omar Amari de Veita, the owner of the house, said, don't be afraid, because already his strong teeth was taken, and his deep nail, long nail was taken, and he cannot do anything. She said, your idea, your favor, your take your kindness and throw it into the thorn. Your encouragement is useless. Why? Kvar nad valad, as the fetus was already being displaced and will certainly die. Right? So it's meaningless, you know.
I don't know.
Let's say, for example, you walk in the house of someone and you see a German shepherds, 3 or 5 German shepherds, and all say, don't worry, even the bark, they're not going to do any, they are such a sweetheart dogs, they're not going to do any harm to you. Amar Rabbi Ravuna, my dichtiv, what it's written in the book of Kohelet, chapter 11, smach bachur biyalutecha v'yetivcha libcha b'mei v'churotecha v'alech achre b'derech libam renecha v'dak al kol elev yachalo im b'mishpat. He said that, what does that mean? When they use the word in the book of Ecclesiastic, rejoice young men in your youth, and let your heart cheer in your days of your youth, and walk in the ways of your heart, and the sight in your eyes, but know that all of these things God will bring you to judgment. Ad kan, which means until here the sight of your eyes, divrei yetzer hara, this is the word of the evil inclination. Mikan vailach, from here on, divrei yetzer tov, what they said, the words of the good inclination. Reish Lakish amar, ad kan divrei Torah mikan vailach lemasim tovim. Reish Lakish said that you could derive from that until here the verse with the matter of Torah. One is provided the opportunity to study and involve himself in the Torah and rejoice in its innovations. From here on, what they said in the pasuk, but now that it referred to good deeds. One who will ultimately stand trial for that which he studied and did not implement. The Mishnah said, Birit Tehora. The Mishnah said that the greater the pure. Rabbi Yehuda said that the garter, that it's a Rabbi Yehuda Brit Zoetz Ada. Brit is a bracelet worn on the arm. Matir Rav Yosef Birit Torah v'yotzeva b'Shabbat ve'ilo etzadat me'ai. Rav Yosef said an objection. He said that the garter is pure, and the woman may go out on Shabbat while the bracelet is ritually impure. Right? So it's mentioned explicitly in a verse, enumerated the spoil of the war in the time of the Midianites. So that's apparently the bracelets can become ritually impure. Rather than that, Rav Yehuda is saying that the garter is on the leg is the place that the bracelet on the arm. It goes around the leg to hold the stocking in a place that just as a bracelet go around the arm. However, unlike the bracelet, a garter cannot become ritually impure because it is not an ornament. It just simply hold the stocking. Yatev Ravin v'Ravuna kamei de Rav Yirmiyah, v'yatev Rav Yirmiyah v'kamei namnem. And it was like a sitting and dozing. V'yatev Ravin v'kamar birit be'achad v'kvalim b'shtayim. He said that birit, garter, is worn in one leg, and angle chains is worn in two legs. So he said, Amar le Ravuna disagreed, and he said, Eilu va'eilu b'shtayim, both birit and kvalim, both in both legs, umatiltlin shalshelet benehem v'nasu kvalim, and they put a chain between them, and they become vessels with the legal status of equal to that ankle chain. V'shalshelet shebo meshavi lemana, and they said, and that's the chain that was connected to its render, its vessel. How do you know that something that made a sound, makes a sound, consider a vessel that becomes ritually impure? So they said, it's written in the book of Numbers, chapter 31, called anything that passed through the fire, and afil dibur b'mashma, which means even a dibur, even a speech. In other words, even an object that makes a sound shall pass through fire to become purified because it's a vessel. So he said, granted that there is a required to vessel for the purpose of sound is perform an action. However, here, what does the chain perform? Although it created the sound, the chain serves no purpose. משפחה אחת הייתה בירושלים שהיו פסיעותיהם גסות ובתולותיהם נושרות. There was a family in Jerusalem whose daughters' stride were lengthy, and as the result the Haman members will fall away, which means that it wasn't proper behavior, and it was a result. עשו להם כבלים והטילו שלשלת ביניהם, שלא יהיו פסיעותיהם גסות ולא בתולותיהם נושרות. So they in those days, right, they hung a chain between them, so the strides will not be so large, and indeed the hymen will no longer fall away. So meanwhile, וכן אמר רבי יוחנן awoke from the voices and said to them, he said, yes, התערבו רבי ירמיה ואמר לו ישר, וכן אמר רבי יוחנן. He said, yes, it's correct, and Rabbi Yochanan said it's likewise. He said, Rabbi Yochanan says, from where it derived that woven fabric of any size can become a ritually impure. We derive it from the front place, from the tzitz, which is the place that high priest, which is considered a vessel, despite its small size. V'amar, I'm just, okay, small side. So Amar le Abaye v'tzitz arigu. So Abaye asked, it's tzitz. It's the front plate of woven fabric. V'atanya tzitz kemin tas shel zahav. He said that the front plate was made like a kind of smooth plate of gold. V'rochav shtei etzbaot, and its width was the finger breadth. Umukaf me'ozen le'ozen, and it's encircled from forehead, from ear to ear. V'chatuv alav b'shtei shitim, and it's written in two lines, Yud v'hei, which means the abbreviation Yud v'hei, למעלה וקודש למד למטה, and the kodesh is sacred at the bottom. ואמר רבי אליעזר ברבי יוסי, אני ראיתי בעברומי וכתוב קודש להשם בשיטה אחת. רבי אליעזר רבי יוסי said, I saw it in the Caesar's treasure in the city of Rome, and the sacred to God was written in one line. So it, in any case, since the foreplate is gold plate, how can it serve as a source of ritual impurity in a fabric? So, by the way, in my book, ביאורה כלומר בראשי, I spent tremendous amount of time to brought 4 different shitot, 4 different approach to these questions, 4 different approaches to this idea, how the tzitz was. One is Hashem Kodesh Le, one is Kodesh Le and Hashem, one is La Hashem Kodesh, and one Hashem Kodesh Le. How the high priest carried the tzitz at that time, following this kelomar in Rashi. Again, this is the long explanation in my book, explaining why Rashi used the word klomar and what he meant in the sense of the tzitz. Kisalik Rav Dimi le Nahardea, when Rav Dimi ascended to the city of Nahardea, Shlach lehu, he sent to the yeshiva students as follows: Dvarim she'amarti lachem ta'ut hem beyadi. A statement I said to you with regard to woven fabric of any side become ritually impure, regardless to their sides, they are my mistake. Beram, however, כך אמרו משום רבי יוחנן, that's what they said the name of Rabbi Yochanan. מניין לתחשיש כל שהוא טמא, from where it's derived that the ornament of any side can become ritually impure, mitzitz, we learn it from the tzitz, from the front plate. How? So he said, ומניין להארי כל שהוא טמא מאור בגד. And from where we derive that woven fabric of any side can become a ritually impure, from the verse, or a garment, or a leather, or sack, that's written in Leviticus chapter 11. From the extraneous phase, or a garment, it is derived that any garment, regardless how small, fall into this category. The sages taught in the brighter woven fabric of any side is ritually impure, and ornament of any side can be ritually impure. And they said that the object that half woven fabric and a half ornament of any side become ritually impure. מוסף שק על הבגד שטמא משום הריג. And a sack added to a category of garment is too ritually impure to the woven fabric. אמר רב הרי כל שהוא טמא מאור בגד. רבא said that they derive the woven fabric of any side ritually impure derived from the phrase or a garment. תכשיט כל שהוא טמא מציץ. An ornament of any side ritually impure derived from הלכות from the front praise. הריג ותכשיט כל שהוא טמא מכל כלי מעשה. And both a woven fabric and an ornament of any side is ritually impure is derived from the word all vessels with which labor is done. That's in the book of Numbers, chapter 31. One of the sages said to the Rava, this verse is written in regard to Midian. There is a referring specifically to ritual impurity imparted by a corpse, and how it's possible to derive it from the halachot, ritual impurity in general. He said it derived the mean by verbal analogy. We use the word twice. It's like the same category as Gzera Shava. Kli, you would the word vessel written here and written there. So we regard the halachot of ritual impurity imparted by a corpse, and the word vessel written in regard to halachot from other impurities. Several halachot we learn today. First, lo yitzeh ish lo b'saif. It is prohibited to go out in public domain carrying a weapon. One does not so is liable for sin offering, as the Rambam said, in accordance with the rabbis, the Rambam Hilchot Shabbat chapter 19. Another thing we learn in philosophy is En bin ha'olam hazeh la'olimot ha'mashiach. The Rambam adopted the opinion of Shmuel that there will be no change of the natural order of the world in the Messianic era. That's Hilchot Melachim chapter 12. That's the only difference between this world and the Messianic era. The Kol HaNevi'im lo nitabu ela. All the prophets prophesies with regards to rewards of the Jewish people will merit refer exclusively to the physical benefit that Israel will enjoy during the Messianic era, when the sovereignty in Eretz Israel will be restored. Since the reward of the world to come is neither quantifiable nor imaginable, the prophets did not describe it in the prophecies to avoid devaluing the mind of the people. That's the Rambam Sefer Hamadai Hilchot Teshuvah, chapter 8. Now we go to the second part of our study, which is about the idea of halvaot. Gadol hamalveh yoter min ha'oseh tzedakah. So the Rambam in Hilchot Matnot Aniyim, chapter 8, chapter 10, and Shulchan Aruch Yoredea 249 said there are different levels of charity. The highest level is establishing a business partnership with a poor person, or lending him money and encouraging him so that he will not be dependent on others. So they said, a Torah scholar, wrap him tightly around your waist. So by Torah law, it is a mitzvah to associate with a Torah scholar and to go close with them in order to learn from their deeds. So then we talk about the dog. Anyone who raises an evil dog within his home, it is prohibited to keep a dangerous object, like even an evil dog or other things. You remember the fellow we went and they raised snakes in his house for pets. So as per opinion of the Reish Lakish, anyone who raises an evil dog is ostracized until he removes the vicious dog from his house. So basically it's the idea that people are afraid of them. A garter is pure. We said a garter cannot become a ritual impure because it's not have the form of vessel, but it is simply a ring that facilitates the use of a vessel. That's a Rambam Hilchot Kelim, chapter 9. We also learn about the tzitz. The fourth place was a thin band of gold worn by the high priest Kohen Gadol on his forehead. It's extended from the ear to ear, and the words sacred to God were inscribed with the sacred to, inscribed below the word God. If the entire phrase were written in one line, it is nevertheless valid. That was the Rambam Hilchot Klei HaMikdash, chapter 9. And then we concluded with Arig Kol Shu Tameh, that woven fabric of any side become ritually impure. Any woven fabric made of the wool, linen, or any other material that grows on land is considered a garment and can become ritually impure, as the Braita said, and that again, Rambam Hilchot Kelim, chapter 1.
וכי נפשי es Hashem